Good morning, dear students. Today we will be discussing about indices in dental epidemiology. So we will be discussing the indices definition, types, and liquids uses of indices today. So the lecture will be under the following contents: introduction, definition, classification, ideal liquids of index, objectives and use of index. So this is a very important chapter where in the practical clinical postings and practical examination, so index you're supposed to record, and you should know what is index and types of index, and accordingly we will be trained in the OHI's index, DMFT index, Russell Peter index, and Dinsford index. So a good clinician thinks in terms of qualitative terms. During the diagnostic examination, the dental practitioner not only goes for existing disease but also tries to look ahead for the possibility of future disease. Measuring oral disease in a population, however, requires a more standardized and objective approach. Specific diagnostic criteria written explicitly for clinical, microbiological, radiographic, and pathological examination has replaced judgment of the practitioner. These criteria, meaning objective standards on which diagnostic judgment can be based, are applied to judge the condition of the oral tissues as they are at the examination time, not on how they might be in the future. This objective application of diagnostic criteria is the most important philosophical difference between the epidemiological examination and that carried out for the treatment of planning. So, an index is an expression of clinical observation of the numerical values. It is used only usually to describe the relative status of the individual or group with respect to a particular condition being measured. Indices using various criteria have been developed to compare the extent and severity of disease. These measurements aid in the overall assessment of the health status. So, unless you count it, weigh it, or express it in a quantitative fashion, you have scarcely begun to think about the disease in a scientific fashion. So, this is again by Lord Kelvin. So, the teeth and our surrounding structures are so definite, so easy to observe and carry with them so much of their previous disease history that the measurement of dental diseases is much easier than the measurement of any other forms of the diseases. So coming to definition of index, so this is the very most important definition of definition, where in any part of examination this you cannot escape from the definition. Okay, so definition, according to Russell et al., an index is defined as a numerical value describing relative status of population on a graduated scale with definite upper and lower limits, which is designed to permit and facilitate comparison with other population classified by the same criteria and method. So any person who is going to examine, they should have the same criteria and methods. So you cannot put one criteria for one person and you cannot put criteria for other person. So it is a numerical value on a discriminatory status of population on a graduated scale with defined upper lower limits. So which is designed to permanent facilitate comparison. We are comparing one person with other person, one with other population classified by the same criteria and methods. So epidemiological indices are attempts to quantitate clinical condition on a graduated scale, thereby facilitating comparison among population examined by the same criteria and methods. So that is given by Irving Glickman. And according to Esther M. Wilkins, an index is an expression of clinical observation in numerical values. It is used to describe status of population on group with respect to condition being measured. The use of numerical scale and a standardized method for interpreting observations of a condition results in an index score that is more consistent and less subjective than a word description of that condition. According to George P. Barnes, so oral indices are essentially set of values, usually numerical, with maximum and minimum limits, used to describe the variables or a specific condition on a graduated scale, which use the same criteria and method to compare a specific variable in individuals, samples or population with that same variables as is found in other individuals, samples or populations. So how will you classify the indices? So classification based on the direction in which The scores can fluctuate upon the extent to which the areas of oral cavity are measured according to the entity they measure and general indices. So based on direction in which the scores can fluctuate, reversible indices means the condition that can be changed. Example, periodontal indices. Irreversible indices, index that measures condition that will not change. Example, dental caries. So reversible indices, for example, a patient comes with a severe plaque and calculus. So on patient has got very poor oral hygiene. So in that condition where we record the OHI's index and we will do the prophylaxis and ask the patient to follow instructions. After 1 month or 2 months again, if you record the index, the scores, the gingival tissue is normal because whatever the scaling is done, so that will the scores will reduce and the tissue will become normal. That is called as reversible index. Whereas in dental caries index, that is DMFT index, so where once the cavity is established, we cannot get back normal tooth structure as such. The only thing what we can do is we can do a treatment. So that comes under the irreversible index. So example for irreversible index is DMFT index, and example for reversible index is OHI's index. Okay. So depending upon the extent to which areas of oral cavity are measured, full mouth indices, patient entire periodontium or dentition is measured. Example, OHI, DMFT, Russell periodontal index, Dean's process index. So simplified indices measure only a representative sample of the dental apparatus or dentition. Okay. Example, OHI. S stands for simplified. So because in the modification, so given OHI given 1960 and OHI is 1964. After 4 years of doing the OHI, so they found it is taking a lot of time in the field. So they come out with some selected 6 index teeth, that is called as simplified index. So that includes 16, 26, 36, 46, 31 and 41. So that is called simplified, where we will examine only set of teeth. So whereas full mouth index will examine all the teeth present on the day of examination in the patient mouth during the clinical chair. So according to the entity they which they measure, so disease index, symptom index and treatment index. D component of the DMFT index is the best example for disease index, where that is called decay. D for decay. Symptom index measuring gingival or circular bleeding or essential example of symptom index. Treatment index, DMFT index, F stands for filled teeth because of dental caries, is the best example for treatment index. So general indices, simple index that measures the presence or absence of condition. Example, plaque index. And the cumulative index, the indices that measures all evidence of condition past and present. Example, DMFT. Cumulative means nothing but total caries experience individual from the past and present. That is what is called cumulative index. So coming to the ideal requisites of index. So this is very important question where you can expect the 4 marks question. So clarity, simplicity, objectivity, validity, reliability, sensitivity, acceptability, quantifiability and specificity. So coming to ideal requisites of index. So ideal requisites of index should possess the following ideal requisites: clarity, simplicity and objectivity. So the examiner should be able to carry rules of the indices in his head, and index should be reasonably easy to apply so that there is no undue time lost during the field examination. The criteria for index should be clear and unambiguous with mutually exclusive criteria. So simplicity and objectivity and validity. The index must measure what is intended to measure so that it should correspond with clinical stage of disease and are steady at each point. So to illustrate this, the number of bacteria in a sample of saliva is not valid measure of bacteria in dental plaque, nor is the number of missing teeth in adult. Necessarily a valid measure can be caries activity because the teeth can be lost for reasons other than caries. So invalidity has got two components, one is sensitivity, one other is specificity. Sensitivity is ability to detect the condition under when it is present, and specificity ability to not detect the condition when it is absent. So reliability or reproducibility. The index should measure consistently at different times and under a variety of conditions. The term reliability is virtually synonymous with reproducibility, which means the ability of the same or different to interpret and use the index in the same way. So it has got two components. One is inter-examiner, other is intra-examiner. So inter-examiner is examining two persons, the same patient. So whenever the patient examines two different persons, the score should remain the same. That is called inter-examiner. Different examiners record the same patient. Intra-examiner means so two different patients are examined by one same person record the same result at two different points of time. Suppose so if a patient if a doctor A records a patient at 9 o'clock in the morning and he records the same patient at 4 o'clock in the evening, the score should be the same. That is called intra-examiner reliability. So precision is the ability to distinguish between the small increments. Acceptability. The use of index should not be painful or demeaning of the subject. So whenever you're doing an index, the patient should not feel ashamed or patient should accept. Then only you can go do the index. Quantifiability. So the index should be amenable to statistical analysis so that the status of group can be expressed by number that corresponds to relative position on a scale from 0 to the upper limit. So it should be amenable to statistician after collection of index. So coming to the objectives of index. So it is mainly for individual patient research and community health. So the main purpose or object of using index in dental epidemiology is to increase understanding the disease process, thereby leading to methods of control and prevention. In addition, it attempts to discover population at high and low risk and to define specific problem under investigation. The simplest form of measuring any disease is by a count of the number of cases of occurrence, but with overlapping disease, simple counts of cases are often of limited use because of high prevalence of this condition of the whole population. So the main purpose or objective of using indices in dental epidemiology is to increase understanding of the disease process along with the measurement of the disease prevalence and incidence, thereby leading to methods of control and prevention. In addition, it attempts to discover population high risk and low risk and to define specific problem under investigation. So for individual patient and research and community health. So for individual patients, provide individual assessment to help patients recognize the overall problem, reveal degree of effectiveness of present origin practices, motivation in preventive and professional care for control and elimination of diseases. For example, if a patient comes with a severe bleeding during brushing and severe bad smell, then record then record the OHS index. Then after that, do the thorough prophylaxis, that is called scaling, and educate the patient and ask the patient to come after 1 month. Again, they do the OHS index. If the scores in the first and second is decreased, means the patient has the score is decreased. So we are converting the clinical condition numerical value where the patient can understand what exactly the patient is suffering with. That's what. So because before and after, because the index, the patient can motivate himself and he can have the better oral hygiene. So that is what. So index can be used for individual patient like this. So provide individual assessment to help the patient recognize all problem. So first exactly once the patient is in the dental chair in the clinic, so you can convert his condition into numerical value where you can tell. So this is the problem you're suffering with, and this is the very poor oral hygiene you're suffering with. So reveal the degree of effectiveness of present oral hygiene practices. We'll ask the patient how the patient is brushing. So what type of brushing, soft brush, medium brush, or what type of brushing technique is using, and motivation, preventive professional care for control and elimination of diseases. This can be used for individual person like this. Let's come to research. Determine baseline data before experimental factors are introduced. Measure the effectiveness of specific agents for preventive control or treatment of oral condition. Measure the effectiveness of mechanical devices for personal care. Coming to the community health. So index can show the prevalence and incidence of a particular condition occurrence with a given population. Provide baseline to show the existing dental health practices. Assess the need of the community. Compare the effects of community program and evaluate the results. So objectives. So for individual patient in research and community. So individual patient recognizing oral problem, effectiveness of present and hygiene practices, motivation, preventive and professional care for control of elimination of diseases. And in research, determine baseline data before experimental factors are introduced, measure the effectiveness of specific agents for preventive control or treatment of world condition, and a community shows prevalence and incidence of a condition, assess the need of the community, compare the effects of a community program, and evaluate the results. Coming to selection of index, so in the selecting indices or using indices and are evaluating studies can be conducted using indices. So studies conducted with different indices should be compared for general findings rather than specific details, and indices should be selected according to their potential to best evaluate the variables or condition being assessed. Example, it is difficult to accurately determine plaque severity scores on proximal two surfaces. On these surfaces, scoring on presence or absence of plaque is probably more precise. In general, indices should be used without modification of methodology or criteria. In those rare instances where the criteria are modified, the interpretation results should be modified in a like manner. While indices measuring severity are extremely useful in conducting epidemiological survey and clinical trials, indices measuring only the presence or absence of entity are probably more amenable to patients' motivation efforts. When evaluating individual patient or when conducting studies with small samples, it's best to use a full mouth index. Simplified indices are most useful in epidemiological surveys and clinical trials in which sample sizes are large, and examiners should establish their reliability with the index prior to using it in any research project. Additionally, throughout the course of the investigation, both inter and intra-examiner reliability must be re-evaluated repeatedly. So to conclude, so measuring of observation is the crux of the science. So that is very important. Quantability, quantifying means we are converting the numerical clinical disease into numerical value where you can explain the patient and patient can understand what exactly he is suffering with. In study of analysis, a true count of lesion in a population almost never achieved. Any one of count of disease groups there an estimate of condition rather than absolute truth. So ideal index, as we discussed, should possess certain criteria such as simplicity, objectivity, validity, reliability, and sensitivity. So other terms such as reversibility are used in literature to describe the nature of the index, whether it can be achieved again normal condition or not. That is called reversible, unreversible. So then the measurement of index should be perfect. Suppose if you think if I given the perfect measurements during your stitching of clothes, so that looks very elegant and looks very beautiful. In the same way, so if you can measure exactly what a patient is suffering with, then then accordingly you can plan the program so that the condition can be treated, or even in future the preventive aspects of the condition can be planned so that the patient will not have any suffering. That all depends upon the way you measure. So that's what. So the measurement should be more accurate. So this measurement overall is recognized as critical feature of numerous dental activities. So you are converting a clinical condition numerical value. So you understand nature and history of disease. So why the patient is suffering with lot of disease, why the patient condition is like this. Then describe normal biological process, so how it is progressing. So suppose the patient has got an initial stage and how can you progress, you can assess, and based upon the clinical condition correlating with your numerical value, so you can plan a program or an evaluation of overall services. So you can plan for individual when the patient is coming to your clinic, and that is called individual approach, or you can plan a program for a community where you're going to a field, so that all these things can be applied and preventive program can be done so that the patient can be devoid of the condition and with suffering with. Okay, so indices play a very important role in the epidemiological aspect where you can plan a program and you can show the condition what the patient is suffering with and group of population suffering with, and accordingly you can plan and evaluate a program so that the condition can be removed from the population. Thank you.